Now we out of Discord game. We about to get into that crime, and then we're gonna move on to a rappermentary. What's up, Story to the Crew? It's yours truly, Snore That Dude. Right now, I'm about to get into that killer realize he been caught 35 years later. Statute of limitations ain't none on the murder. And ain't none on the murder. So don't think you ain't got away with murder. I don't know if I can say that many times in the YouTube video, but YouTube, if you watching, I meant that in a not good way. It's no way to, hey, I mentioned it in a good way. Yeah. Anyway, let's go and get into it.
What are you doing? I'm Officer Earhart with the Pensacola Police Department. Do you have your license on you by any chance?
Police have just pulled over 57-year-old Daniel Wells. He doesn't know it yet, but the entire department has been tracking his every move for days, ever since he became the prime suspect in a decades-old brutal murder case.
You've avoided this day for 35 years. You have two options. Either you're going to this day coming, 35 years, you're wondering when you're going to get that knock at your door.
What the officers don't realize is that Daniel has no prior record. He's never even been charged with a crime. And if investigators can't uncover undeniable proof, the real killer could walk free. And the murder of a young mother who never made it home may remain unsolved forever.
I ain't gonna lie. If you get 35 years, you did more than one body. You got more than one body. I'm just, 35 years and you ain't, you got at least about Dahmer numbers going up. Like, you got some wings under your belt, man.
Irrefutable evidence that you're there. I'm not doing all this on a guess. I'm not doing all this on a hunch. Damn.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Well, talk to my lawyer.
On New Year's Day, 1985,
Give us that discovery.
23-year-old Tanya McKinley rang in the new year at Daryl's, a popular Pensacola bar. It was a rare night out for the young.
Pensacola? This like my 5th crime episode on Pensacola. I didn't even know Pensacola get like that. Like, I just been down there. If I would have known all this, I would have never went. For real. Y'all ruthless down there in Pensacola. I just watched one where the dad had his son football game cutting up. It's crazy.
Mother, a brief escape from the responsibilities of caring for her 18-month-old son, Timothy. She laughed, drank, and mingled with friends and strangers alike, unaware that the night would end in horror. Sometime after 1:30 a.m., Tanya was last seen leaving the bar. Hours later, at 5:16 a.m., the celebration turned to tragedy. Passers-by stumbled upon a grim scene. Tanya's body lay discarded on the side of the road, 7 miles from Daryl's. She had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, and the bruising around her neck told a chilling story. She had been strangled. Her purse, shoes, and a bloodied towel lay scattered across the road. When forensics conducted a closer examination of the body, the primal levels of depravity they uncovered would send chills through all who were present. Semen samples extracted from her corpse would provide the DNA of a primary suspect.
That nigga definitely got more than one body. He's a sexualized demon. He's a sexualized demon. He definitely got more than one wing. But I was joking earlier when I said that he got Dahmer stats, but it more than likely be true now. Cause you didn't rape this lady, and then, cause if she fair game gave you some pussy, what's the point of killing her? I'm just, come on now. I ain't trying to speak fragrant about this lady, but if she fair game gave you some box, you can't say, okay, what's the reason of what's the reason of killing her? He had to grape her. He had to. And he got more than one.
Initial investigations led the police to Tim Davidson, McKinley's possessive and violent partner. As the father to Tanya's son, Tim was one of the few people with a potential motive. When investigators looked into his background, they were able to gather some key details. Tanya's sister, Renee McCall, described him as abusive, claiming that he threw Tanya out of the house while she was pregnant. She also told officers that he once attempted to run Tanya over during an incident. To cement him as a suspect, police uploaded Davidson's information into the CODIS familial database. Despite their strong suspicions, his DNA was not a match for the crime scene, ruling him out. Police also spoke to several witnesses at the bar that night, but nothing concrete came up. Slowly, the trail began running cold. With their key suspect ruled out, the events of that night became something of a cautionary tale for locals. Eventually, law enforcement was left with nothing but rumors and tips. Meanwhile, public interest remained thanks to periodic media coverage on platforms like WEAR TV3, where they highlighted the anniversary of McKinley's death. Months turned into years, years turned into a decade, and a decade became 30 years. The investigation had all but lost its steam, and its most promising leads dried up. Finally, in 2020, developments in advanced genetic genealogy reignited the case. This emerging technology allowed investigators to build a family tree using the crime scene DNA. In Tanya's case, police were able to identify one suspect that could be a potential match with the DNA acquired back in 1985. But there was nothing concrete yet. To nail this, they had to be 100% certain. It's the early hours of March 18th, 2020.
I want to know how many other cold cases they didn't figure it out from the 80s. Man, that DNA is something crazy because it don't change the older you get. It do not change. So I'm pretty sure they got some more cult killers under their belt.
In Pensacola, Florida. 57-year-old Daniel Wells is on a commute home from work, unaware of the twist that was about to change everything.
Hey, good. How are you doing? I'm Officer Earhart with the Pensacola Police Department. Do you have your license on you by any chance? Thank you.
Registration?
That's okay right now. Because of the virus and everything, do you mind talking to me outside? Okay. We'll just step right back here to my car. That way, the contagion and all that kind of stuff.
It was just in his face.
How you doing, Miss Wills?
Yes, you did.
How you doing? Miss Wills, you're going to have to come with us. We're going to be bringing you down to the police station, have a conversation. These two officers will be taking you down there. All right. Sir?
And Pensacola ain't that big to be having a cold case unit either. I ain't gonna lie. Pensacola is just one big street and then a whole bunch of side streets off this big street. It's one big main little highway. It ain't that big of a city, gang. Once I realized I went to the west, the east side, and the north side of Pensacola within 20 minutes, I said this is a small city. It ain't like a Houston. It ain't even like my city. My city, it take a little minute to go from these different parts, 30, 40 minutes. You gonna force it, it's like a highway to go around the city. It ain't one of them. It's real small, man. That's why I'm figuring out that anything go on. 30 minutes.
When we get down there, but you're going to have to get into the car with them. Can you get your keys for you? Yeah, I'm with you. I'll get your keys for you. Just put your hands on this number right here.
Imagine he already having
Officers
a long day.
apprehend
Oh my God, I'm already having a long day. Oh my God.
Wells as the prime suspect in Tanya McKinley's murder investigation. They take him into custody without incident.
They got a beach, but that's the highlight of the city, man. Ain't nothing to do there. Absolutely not. If I go Florida, I'll go Miami. You get the sunlight, you get the beach, you get the bitches, the vibes. if I go Florida, I'll go Miami.
Now, it may have seemed sudden, even unexpected, but investigators were working with solid evidence, the kind that would soon speak for itself. But the moments that follow his arrest will prove to be the most delicate. The detectives need to find Daniel's motives for a strong case against him. And with nearly 4 decades since the incident, they must avoid hazy recollections and gather hard facts. How they choose to collect this information unveils a side of the interrogation playbook that you rarely get to see.
In the mid-'80s. Did you know a girl named Tanya McKinley?
Tanya McKinley, no.
She was on Milton High School.
Tanya McKinley, I knew a Tanya,
Or Tanya Etheridge.
no. No,
Do you remember her if you knew her? I mean, like if it was somebody you dated in high school,
no.
you'd remember that, right? No.
Tanya, I knew was Tanya Lynn. I went to school with.
Yeah. Or she probably would have been like a year ahead of you in school.
I don't know. The name doesn't ring a bell. No.
I mean, that's kind of who we're here talking about. And it's going to be kind of strange if you don't know her at all.
No, I don't. I don't know her at all.
Would it surprise you if in 1985 were you in Collier County and got arrested for driving with suspended driver's license down there by Naples?
I was
Man.
working
You're working down there?
and made a, yeah, I remember that.
Remember
That's
that?
the only time that's the only time I got a ticket or anything.
Just all the time.
Man, I'll be telling them to talk to my lawyer. Anything from the mid-'80s, that's like 2020. That's 35. I can't even speak from a childhood perspective. But that is actually remembering a random day of my childhood perspective. Like that's too long, bro. That's too long. You remember when you was 11 and you said, "Fuck you" to the teacher? Yeah. What about it? The teacher's dead. What they gotta do with me? I ain't seen that bitch since then. Fuck. Any teacher I told fuck you to, I ain't saw since the day I said fuck you. I was that. I was to cuss the teacher out when she did said some stupid stuff like, bitch, fuck you. His lawyer could have saved him. Man. Sound like he don't do some talking though.
I got in trouble.
The detectives attempt to confirm Daniel's address history, questioning him on whether or not he lived on Elmcrest Drive in Pensacola. The significance of 4237 Elmcrest Drive lay in the fact that it was Daniel Wells's last known address at the time of Tanya's death. It also drew the attention of investigators due to its proximity to Peacock Drive, the location where her body was eventually discovered.
So on New Year's Eve, going from 1984 to 1985, remember what you're doing that night? What would you normally have done on the New Year's Eve during that time frame?
Maybe go out to Kevin's Little Fire or something like that on the beach, or
Like to go out to the beach?
to go.
So where do you normally hang out at? What bars? I mean, you work for Chan's,
Right.
but you did culinary. Would you ever go to the bars?
Not very
In
often.
Gregory or on Davis?
Not downtown. No.
If you went out, you would go to
Usually the beach. That's where I'd be.
With Dan's, there was the one
Daryl's.
hotel in Daryl's,
there's one.
but they were all kind of on the backside of University Mall back then. There's 3 there.
You remember a third one back there? You remember Daryl's and Chan's?
I don't remember Daryl's.
You don't remember Daryl's? They're in the very back
I remember
there.
Bennigan's.
Bennigan's is the other place that's back there. Look at two ones.
This struck as something odd to the detectives. 3 bars were mentioned in the area, yet Daniel makes it a point to indicate that he doesn't remember Daryl's specifically, the one bar that he and Tanya McKinley were last seen at prior to her death. By the way, if you're finding this video interesting so far, please do us a favor. Make sure to hit like and also hit subscribe and help us get to 1 million subscribers. Now, let's dive back in.
What would you picture yourself back then doing as a thing? Hanging out with friends,
Yeah.
going to somebody's
Well, we always
house,
have
going
a
out.
group of people, yeah. I was never alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is anything that's talking about, old times and stuff, does that jog your memory about Elmcrest? About a house on Elmcrest?
No.
I
Once I rented a place, I'm just trying to think. I don't know where Elmcrest is.
Man,
when you would go out
I
and
rent a house.
you know where it's at, buddy. You act like you living in outside of Pensacola. Pensacola ain't that big, buddy. You know exactly where M Crest Drive's at.
New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
because you're a young guy, would you be out like looking for anybody, like company, a woman, or anything like that?
No. I'm usually I was with a group of friends
Never,
or whatever.
ever get lucky?
Yeah, I get lucky. Oh man, yeah, back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was usually out out of
were you adverse to like one night stands?
occasionally, yeah.
Because
But normally you'd meet somebody and get to know them.
most guys are not adverse that if you're at a bar and you strike a conversation with a girl and
Right.
she's willing, you're not going to turn it down.
Right. Yeah.
Girls might, but guys usually
Good
don't.
days to the 80s.
Yeah.
They used to raw dog all the one night stands in the 80s. The good days. Good old rock and roll.
Had a few one night stands. It was Halloween. I can remember. That was out at Kevin's little fire.
Hey, Kevin had the spot going on. Man. He keep mentioning Kevin's house, man. Kevin must have had the liquor and the coke.
We used to, you could rent hotel rooms for winter rates or whatever. And I was working out at Woodcraft there too.
Right, so that'll put you closer to that.
For a week or two, with a couple friends, we'd go to a place or whatever.
Still don't remember Elmcrest.
I don't remember the address. Doesn't sound familiar. I mean,
Yeah, that's why they got AIDS in the 80s, man. AIDS was like an epidemic in the 80s, man. They used to raw dog just about any old thing, eh? See, you got to do your research on the 80s, boy. 80s is raw. Why you think so many crack babies, man? The 80s. That's the 80s. They used to raw dog bitches, smoke crack, do coke. 80s was a wild time. It's almost worse than COVID. It was almost worse than COVID, gang. You could just imagine. Just imagine what the hell was going on, man. I gotta ask my aunt, do your research. That's your research.
the name.
I guess you've gone out.
I don't know her.
Don't know her at all.
No, I've
You
never
never
seen
had
her
contact
before.
with
Never.
Any idea what we're talking about yet?
No, I don't. I don't know what.
I'm glad I'm an 808 baby. Y'all was tripping.
I don't have
I
any.
mean, I'm a
idea.
90s baby.
Alright.
I wasn't tweaking in the 80s. Hold up, gang. How old you think I am?
At this point, it seems like Daniel's confident. After all, if they had anything worth getting him with, it would have been used a long time ago. But could Wells lie his way out of a 1 in 700 billion match?
Any kind of crime show. Those are just news stories about crime or stuff like
One
that.
out of 7 billion match is crazy.
You know about DNA?
Yeah.
DNA is actually just as positive, but not more positive fingerprints.
Right.
So I can prove to literally 1 in 700 billion chances you were there.
Well, lock me up. They ain't talking too much. I would have told them, lock me up. You got 1 in a 7 billion chance? You think that's going to work in court? Your DNA could be faulty. And watch, they still going to ask for more DNA.
That's where we're at. I'm not asking you.
Right.
Okay? We're not asking you if you're there. Honestly.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it
it's
has
been
been a one
35
night thing.
years.
Yeah.
It's been 35 years. This is the first time you've probably talked to the police about this. I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Right? Have you noticed anything unusual for the last couple of weeks?
No.
Nobody around you looked unusual, seen a bunch of police cars for no reason, nothing
No.
like that. Felt like somebody was following you.
No.
No, what would happen? The thing is that your DNA is at this site, right? On this person. It is nobody else's except yours. There's no other explanation. Right? It can't be a possibility of somebody else's DNA. Your DNA is at this scene. Dan, I get this is your life. This is probably freaking you out a little bit, right? But listen to me. There's a story here, right? And either you can choose to give that story about what happened, the chain of events that led to what ultimately happened as to why we're here, and you have a part to play in that. If you don't, it starts to look pretty bad as to why you're not explaining it.
I don't
Do you understand what I'm saying?
understand. I mean, I have never hurt anybody in my life. That's what's, I mean, I've had one night stands and stuff before, but it's like,
Have you had a one-night stand with her before?
no, I don't know her. I'm telling you, I cannot recognize her. I don't know the name.
Dan,
It's like you went back to school days. I
the
don't know
only
anybody.
reason you're not telling us that you know who she is because you're afraid that somehow we'll find out that you're responsible for her death. We already know that you are. That's
No
what I'm trying
way,
to explain
man.
to you.
I hear you.
Just listen, right? This has been 35 years ago, right? This has been 35 years that you haven't had to face this, right? And all of a sudden, one day you're at work, you run your work day, everything's fine, you're on your way home, all of a sudden you get pulled over an hour later in this room and we're telling you this. It's a shock. And totally normal human behavior to be defensive about. Nobody wants to admit, much like you sat there for a while and didn't want to admit that you had exposed yourself and masturbated women. We had to go through this whole process where you're like, nope, oh, well, yeah. Well, I did a little bit while I was peeing. And she said something, then I said something. That was it. Oh, wait, no, there was another time. We went through that whole process with you, right?
Right.
We're starting it over again. But we're going to end up in the same place because we're not here by accident. I'm being honest with you. I don't really like playing games.
The detectives aren't lying here. The process of finding Daniel as the main suspect was unmistakable. The officers trailed him to preserve the element of surprise, preventing him from tampering with any new evidence. Given the fact that investigators had waited for 35 years since the murder, they couldn't risk anything that would destroy their ironclad case. It wouldn't take until March 2nd of 2020 when a surveillance team would follow Wells to see if he was a match for the DNA. They got their sample in the form of a cigarette that he tossed out at 9:40 a.m. on March 4th. Tests were carried out, and the cigarette DNA proved an exact match for the 1985 crime scene. Wells was then arrested and brought in for questioning 2 weeks later on March 18th, resulting in the present interrogation.
This was
A fucking cigarette that he littered. That's what got him hemmed up. That's wild. Now imagine he wasn't throwing that cigarette out. How long they would have to been following him? But anyway, they could have not subpoenaed him, but they could have gave him written out a type of warrant to get DNA samples. I don't know why they ain't do that. But the police play wicked games, and they was already following him for 2 weeks.
not gentle. This is not an accident. And if you're going to let the evidence tell a story, it paints a very ugly picture. Your opportunity is to soften that, because we understand there are other dynamics that go on. We're open to the fact, because we've heard it time and time again. We don't go into anything with a closed mind, because there's been too many times we go in thinking one thing and we walk out thinking something totally different because then we hear the other side of the story. That's how we operate from experience. But I'm gonna be honest with you, right? That's all I can do with you. We're following you because we need DNA, right? So we have DNA from the scene. Week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, on your way into work, you threw a cigarette butt out the window.
There's a way, you're on your way up to a shop, I believe, on Halifax. And you're driving from the shop up Pace. And there may have been a police car behind you. And then all of a sudden that police car stops and blocks all traffic right behind you. Remember seeing that?
Mhm.
Do you know what you did just before that? You threw your cigarette butt out the window. And I was in that police car.
And there's 2 FDLE agents right behind you.
And we picked up that cigarette butt, we submitted it, and it came back as a match. So we know that you were at the scene. That's not a debatable fact.
I'm just,
Yeah, you're blown away.
well, it's just, I know someone I had sex with or what, but I have never heard anybody. It's what I'm saying. It's blowing me away.
There's a couple different ways to look at it. And the thing is, this is why
Daniel continues to deny ever being with Tanya that night, but the officers hammer in on their undeniable evidence against him.
1995, I mean, you
Oh, I lived here, yeah.
right?
Right.
This was a pretty big deal back then. It's a lot. It's on the news.
I don't remember it.
So how
I'm just,
can your DNA end up with her?
unless we had sex, that's the only reason, I don't
I'm
know.
not asking I'm not asking you to theorize. I'm asking
Right.
you to tell me, because you were there. How did your DNA end
And
up
it
with
was
this
her. I was with her, I guess.
I
I was with her.
guess, and I'm not trying to.
But I don't remember her. I don't remember the name, the face means, I don't remember her.
Yeah.
But if you're in and out partying or something like that, I mean, it happened pretty regularly.
So, would you think?
Daniel, a wild boy, he said it happened pretty regularly. They stopped traffic for that. Man, it get wicked. I would have figured something else was up too though. I throw a cigarette out and they stop traffic behind me. Oh, I would have left it. It's over with. I'm gone skis.
Like we talked about earlier, that there's after 35 years, there's lots of things that are kind of vague in memories, except for the specific life events.
Yeah.
Like in 1986, right? 1985, excuse me, when the space shuttle blew up. I know exactly where I was standing when I heard it, because that's a significant event in my life, right?
Right.
So you get significant events in your life that you remember exactly where you were,
Right.
what you were doing when they happened. Don't you think that if you had sex with a girl, you were out partying New Year's Eve, you met a girl, you picked her up, you were in the car, right? You had sex with her, and then the next morning on the news, you find out she's dead. You'd remember that.
I would, yeah. Yeah, I would remember it.
So that's the most.
But I mean, I don't know. It's like I don't know.
That's the most innocent scenario I can give you.
Right. I don't know.
Do you think there was a time that you were? I mean, back then, were you drinking so much that you
No,
had?
I
a
would
hard time?
remember. I don't forget. I mean, I've got a good memory.
Right. So you remember if you had sex with a girl and the next day she was on newspaper day, even if you didn't know who she was. You'd remember the next day when they put her picture in the paper 2 days later. Go, oh my God, I was just having sex with her 2 nights ago in New Year's Eve.
I guess I would remember if I'd seen it.
I'm just trying to throw some logical stuff there. And I'm trying to help you out here.
What's
Because
going
I'm
on?
the picture that this evidence paints is not one that you want to go out there without an explanation. There's room there to mitigate some of that evidence, right?
When confrontation doesn't work, detectives change tactics, appealing to Daniel's emotions by bringing up his relationship with his son.
Or now. Stay in contact with him?
All the time.
Very good. That's hard to do sometimes. I got a son that's in the Air Force. Spent 2 years in Japan. Now he's in Biloxi, which is Because 2.5 hours down the road, we have a good relationship, but we might not talk for 2 months. Right? There's times he does it. We're like, hey, you're just a couple hours down the road. Are you going to come by and visit sometime? Because it's easy to lose that when there's a distance. But you and Morgan still have a good relationship.
Yes, a great relationship.
Can you ever come here and visit? When was the last time you came here and visited?
About a year ago.
Did you ever go out there and visit?
He's been there since he's been there. He lived there from Kansas City, and
Does his mom live out there?
she moved out there. Yeah,
Okay.
she moved from Kansas City.
So we're not really talking so much. You haven't had a great relationship with your sisters for the last several years. Your mom and dad have passed.
Dang.
You got an ex-wife. Do you have a relationship with her? Or is it just like,
She calls.
does she call you? Is it about Morgan, or is it just?
Yeah. Well, I told her we've got a great relationship with his mother. My second wife, she would call.
That's good though.
Check on me, see how I'm doing.
Yeah, she wants you back, buddy.
That's good. That's helpful.
She wants you back, buddy. Go ahead and make her your little prison boo or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like call her right behind them bars, man. You know, make her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was about to say some crazy shit, but you know, this is what niggas in jail do. They make girls play with themselves while they on the phone. They got shit else to do. They just shit. But yeah, make her a little prison girl, you know what I'm saying? Pimp pal. Make her your little prison pal or something. Oh, well, what is it, Jack?
Healthy. That's probably helped keep you level the last several years, right? That you and her can have relationships with Morgan, can grow up and not feel some of the same things that you kind of mentioned about your
I've
parents.
always had a
and
good
split.
relationship with my ex-wife,
Okay.
with his mother, and even my second wife. You know.
So what I don't think, and I'm only knowing you is the last hour or so that we have spent in here, right? I haven't known you before this. But you don't seem like a cold-hearted person.
I'm not. I mean, I don't.
So I would think it appears to me that you care what people think about you.
Yeah.
That's why you're embarrassed about
no,
me.
not really.
I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, I think we're all like, I'm not going to change who I am to satisfy people. But your image to Morgan, especially what you do, how you look to Morgan, is important because you're a good father, right? And you want to be a good father to him so that he grows up and is a better person than you are.
Right.
I think that's all our goals as parents. My kids, I want them to grow up, be a better person than I am. And I'm sure that's what you want. I feel like you're the type of person that would want that from Morgan.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm telling you, very near future, right? When the story comes out and the details of this come out, if it goes out without explanation of what happened, right? Your story of what happened, it is going to be clear to Morgan that you're responsible. And without an explanation on how it got to that point, he is going to be left to fill in those blanks just like we are. Something happened.
The tactic finally seems to work as Daniel's wall of denial begins to crack.
I was with her and stuff, but I didn't give her a ride home. And there was a group of us. Oh, God. Because I guess she lived over in San Jose County or something. But Bobby Hicks and a guy named Ralph James, they were with me. There was a group of people that I went to school with that were there, and we did have sex in the parking lot.
Oh, she was a bus though?
Actually, the house, I guess, too. Yeah, that's where John Pendergast lived.
Is that the house on Hillcrest?
I guess, yeah, that must have been. You know,
So
that's
you were
the
living there?
address I don't recall, but I would stay with him every now and then.
Was he out with you that night?
No, he wasn't. Those are the guys. They were. And came by the house, and
Brian still would have definitely got him home.
but they left with
At this moment, Daniel tries to point fingers, but the evidence pointed right back at him.
And she wanted a ride home. And we went by my house, and we had a few drinks and stuff, and it just escalated from that. She got home. They hit her in the head.
What?
And it knocked her out. And it was a traumatic blow. And it killed her.
What?
What happened that made it get out of control?
I think we just got kind of an argument or something. I can't remember what it was.
Was it about having sex?
No, she was willing to.
Was
But then
it?
Ralph and those guys, they stopped by for a while, and they left. And
Were you having sex with her?
I had
Sexually?
before, yeah.
And
we
then
had
she
before.
tried to withdraw it, and that's what led to it? So, like, in the middle of it, did she want to stop?
We had consensual sex and stuff, and then I just.
What happened that made things? Was it something she
I
said?
don't know.
He
I
just
mean,
hit
can
it.
we be real here? Did she, like, comment on your sexual performance or
No.
something?
No,
Was it
it was
good?
just, it was, it was, but it was
Did she want to leave and you didn't want to leave yet?
something like that.
Here we go.
I don't remember.
Here we go again. Well,
Yeah.
we're trying to get
Trying
you
to
to
figure
escape
it out. I
routes.
can't remember. I just know.
But you're the one that was there.
Right.
So do something simple. You said you hit her in the head. What'd you hit her in the head with?
It was a cutting board.
Man.
Cutting board?
Yeah, like a wooden lodge.
Wooden block cutting board. At your house. The one on Hillcrest? So you were just staying up there with Pendergrass? And that's where this happened at? Was anyone else there?
Earlier there were some
So you
guys
say-
there, but then it was later on in the evening and stuff like that.
So Bobby and Ralph came over there while you were there with her? Had you already had sex with her then?
Here once.
Once.
And then, we were,
So then they came over, they hung out for a little bit with y'all, had some drinks, and then they left.
right.
He gave him a confession. He ain't
So
beat
then-
nothing.
You
So
said
we
y'all
got
was-
kind of into a little bit of an argument or whatever.
What was the argument about,
Drinking
dude?
and stuff. It just kind of got out of hand.
So you thinking cutting board, you're in the kitchen arguing?
I was standing in the kitchen and she was
You had sex in the bedroom, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And you said once, so there was a second time. Was it after you hit her?
Yes, it was.
So you hit her, you said it was a fatal blow. She was unconscious at least. So then you had sex with her a second time while she was
Well,
unconscious.
not really sex, but I didn't.
You tried.
We had sex. I did. And it was like I was couldn't believe what had happened. And I couldn't get her to respond.
So you
I
stopped.
didn't know-
So what you do then?
I think I just took her down the road.
You think?
I took her down the road
And what?
in my vehicle. And
Which vehicle?
I don't know what I was driving then. I think it was my Ford. I think it was my truck.
He put her in a Ford F-150. I'm serious.
The same 150 that you got the ticket in South Florida.
I don't know if I had that truck down there. That was a company truck.
I know. So you think you had a pickup truck?
Yeah.
Where'd you put it?
Just on the side of the road.
I mean, in the truck. Bed, cab.
Passenger seat.
Did she wake up though? When
I
did,
checked her pulse and all that stuff, and I was just freaked out.
before or after you left her money?
Before,
How did you eventually kill her?
I think it's strangulation.
Yeah, he cooked now.
Getting into a big fight.
Okay. Where was she at when you strangled her? Was it on the place where you brought her to, or was it the house?
So it's the house.
What did you use? Now, you said that
He gave up details that they didn't give him, like strangulation. That was one of the details from the autopsy.
you had sex with her a second time after she was hurt.
I didn't.
I'm just trying to piece together the reason.
Right.
why you
We were going to have sex again, and we didn't. We kind of got into it a little bit.
So it was over one.
She slapped me, and I don't know, just I hit her with it.
There's indications that the sex would have happened after she's unconscious too. So did you have sex with her after you hit her?
You keep telling y'all
You
no.
said yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess, yeah.
So she wasn't a willing participant in that.
They better charge him with rape and murder.
That's what the argument was about.
Right.
That led to that.
Second time.
But then you
Overseas from my iPhone. Say she see me on the stage from Morocco. Give me
Murder gang.
Saluting face.
I appreciate the resub, Brody. I really do appreciate it. We at 150 now. Our number keep going down, but much love to you, Murder gang.
it really was unconscious.
Right. And it's like,
So you kind of lost interest at that point,
Man.
which was kind of annoying.
yeah.
So I mean, it kind of made me think that maybe the argument was that you wanted sex again, she didn't want to. That led to the argument. That led to her slapping you. That led to you hitting her in the head, and then you had sex with her again. Did the strangulation occur after that sex or before?
Before?
So hit her in the head, she goes out,
Right.
You strangle her.
Right.
right? And then you have sex with her again, at least partially. You try. You're trying to have sex with her again, you realize, oh
Yeah.
shit, she's really hurt.
Yeah.
Take her out, you put her in the truck, you drive around, and push her out and dumped her on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Nothing.
like a bag of trash.
You hear that sigh he gave out? He been waiting to let that go for the longest.
With no more stories to weave and a stack of evidence glaring at him, Daniel finally begins to reveal the truth. After their first intimate encounter, when Tanya rejected his advances, Daniel couldn't take no for an answer. In a fit of rage, after physically assaulting and violating her, Daniel threw her lifeless body onto Peacock Drive, where she'd later be found. Thankfully, the DNA evidence from the semen and towel that he threw out would lead to his arrest.
Tim? Yeah. Hey, this is Captain Mallet. I'm with Pensacola Police Department.
Hey, boss, how you doing?
I'm great. So you don't know me. We've never met. But I want to let you know that I just made an arrest on your mother's murder.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry.
crazy.
What did you think? Are you serious right now?
Yes, sir. Serious.
Oh my God.
I know it's been a long time.
But yeah, man. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out right now. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately for Tanya McKinley's now fully grown son, Timothy, this justice was bittersweet, as Daniel would eventually end his own life in his prison cell just a few weeks later. Prior to this, Daniel had been charged with first-degree murder and sexual battery. Since the crime occurred in 1985, Florida's sentencing laws at that time would have been applicable. Now, if you think this case was horrific, you need to check out my video on the evil wife who almost got away with murder.
Man. People like him deserves jail. She already willingly. Remember earlier in the video, I'm like, you know, if she willingly gave you some, it ain't no reason to kill her. She already willingly gave you some, and you want seconds? Hey, gang, you ain't do a good job. You can't get seconds. I'm gonna tell you how women work, bro. This Uncle Snore talking, but hey, if a woman give you that box, and you do a good job, I'm talking about you knock her socks off, fuck the leather off her boot. Hey, She gonna want you to give her seconds, gang. He could have just found another one that was willing. It sounded like him and Dan and John and Ralph had the hoes. He was tripping, gang. He was real deal tripping. Moral of the story, bro. Here's the moral of the story. Moral of the story, bro. Hit and run. Yep. Hit and run. Don't fall in love with it. It was just your turn right then, gang. That's why you just smack and run. Clap and run. Get your 1-2 and hit your Dougie.